No matter how much I disagree with his political views or anyone else, everyone in the political sphere has the right to express their views.
I completely disagree. If your politics is to scapegoat and marginalize the most vulnerable, I don't think you should be free to express those views, because you are directly putting people in harm, in actual danger by your rhetoric.
I'm as real as a real can get. What you see?
Buongiorno freaks and geeks, welcome back to the channel. Can I figure out why this t-shirt caused so much controversy? Probably not, but let's give it a try. There's a t-shirt out there that sparked quite the heated debate, and I'm here to delve into why it was so divisive. The calls for an apology were loud and clear, mostly from fascists, and as a rule of thumb, I never capitulate to the desires of fascists. Anyway, what was it about this shirt that got everyone so riled up? It featured an image of a guillotine and Nigel Farage's name, apparently an incitement to murder. I interpreted it as the societal punishment for people that deliberately destroy a country on behalf of billionaires. China sticks rich people into blenders all the time. Maybe we're following suit here, but maybe I'm being too generous. So, BBC News has interviewed the supposed bringer of doom himself, Zach Polanski. I'm going to press play on that video now, but before I do, please hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and tell me down below, are you surprised at the response to the t-shirt reposting?
Police continue to look into reports about a social media post by the Green Party leader, Zach Polanski. Reform UK reported Mr. Polanski to the police after he shared this on Instagram.
Naturally, the Reform Party being the little crafty snitches whenever they want to be. We're going to report you to the police. Absolutely disgusting. And it kind of flies in the face of Nigel Farage's flip-flopping relationship with the police. When Metropolitan Police members murder defenseless women, Nigel Farage says, okay, let's not jump to conclusions. When police in the south coast of England make a mistake and handcuff the actual victim because the victim is white, Nigel Farage said there are two-tier policing in this country and we should respond with cold, hard rage. Now Nigel Farage has run with his little tail between his legs to the police in the hope that Zach Polanski will be arrested and charged. Make up your mind, dude.
Several images, which included a photo of a man wearing a t-shirt with a picture of a guillotine below the words, "We're only making plans for Nigel." Reform's Nigel Farage has said, if I was to post anything as insightful, then I would expect to be arrested.
He did post something much more insightful, which actually led to riots in the south of England. And he wasn't arrested. So, yeah, you released a whole video. You deliberately recorded a video, edited it, and then put it out. Actual incitement. But yeah, I guess Nigel is in the right as usual.
And so should Polanski. Well, Mr. Polanski is here. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Victoria.
Have the police been in touch yet?
No, they haven't.
Would you expect them to be? Do you expect them to be?
It feels quite surreal to be having this conversation because I think, first of all, it's important to establish the facts. This was not my post. It was a collaboration from a photographer. It had 20 images and I just didn't look carefully enough and I accepted it. As soon as I was aware of what happened, I unaccepted it and took it down.
So I'm trying to actually establish what the problem here is. Number one, who even still uses Instagram? Number two, he was tagged or collabed on a post. Number three, soon as he realized what was contained in that post, he immediately acted. You can come with the argument that he should have looked at the post much more in detail when he first got tagged in it, but again, he got tagged in it. He didn't put up the original post. So yeah, I'm still confused here. It feels like a bunch of boomers who who don't actually understand how social media works are up in arms, and without them knowing what they're up in arms about. And BBC seems to be spearheading this for some reason on behalf of Nigel Farage and his fascist Reform Party. You can't make this up.
I think it would be odd for the police to speak to me about that, because I think it's quite obvious that I've not done anything wrong other than making an inadvertent mistake. That being said, if the police do want to talk to me, of course, I'm very happy to cooperate.
Okay. Did you not read the post properly then?
No.
Why not?
What does it even matter? He acted as soon as he realised the mistake. Like, the fact that this has become a whole media storm is beyond my comprehension. I mean, is this the only way Zach Polanski can get as much airtime on the BBC as Nigel Farage has done historically? I mean, come on, you're only bringing him on to highlight his mistakes. Like, he said he didn't read the social media posts properly, and he acted straight away. And then you're saying, why not? Like, are human beings not allowed to be human beings now? It's just bizarre questioning from the BBC. They clearly have an agenda. The supposed impartial BBC here showing all of their impartiality credentials through the medium, which is Victoria Derbyshire.
It was from a party, and I accepted 9 collaborations from that party. Now, I accept, as a leader of a political party, I have a responsibility for what I post. And to give you an example, if I go to a protest, I read every sign in a collaboration before I post it, because I don't want to have situations like this. This was actually collaborations from a party on Sunday night. You don't generally expect a party to have things that are contentious. So I did flick through it, but I admit I didn't pay enough attention to the T-shirt. As soon as I saw it, I was horrified. It's important to say I condemn all political violence. I condemn violent imagery. I condemn violent metaphors. I do my best to avoid them in my day-to-day speech.
Yeah, I cannot stand this whole respectability politics, especially when the government itself has a monopoly on violence. Like, regardless of what you think the citizens are saying or thinking, it's the state that deals out most of the violence and most of the killing. You just have to look at the austerity measures employed by David Cameron and George Osborne if you want to think about what a state can do, which leads to the deaths of thousands, especially the most vulnerable. In the case of David Cameron and George Osborne, it was people with disabilities. So all this, I abhor political violence. What about when the state is dealing out political violence all the time?
So I think the idea that I would click this knowing what I was doing, I think most people just know that isn't true. This was a mistake.
Okay, you're not making a great argument for yourself. Like, you are coming across as very irresponsible and basically drunk on the power of being Green Party leader. Oh, like, why would I do this on purpose? I abhor political violence. This was clearly a mistake on my behalf. Dude, like, you're doing way too much right now. You've already explained, you didn't look at it properly, move on, and now you're trying to character assassinate yourself. You're giving fuel, you're giving ammunition to Victoria Derbyshire right here.
And I'm sure...
So let's just look at this picture then. Any second now. This, you did not see the T-shirt with the drawing of the guillotine with the words.
It was the 5th image in 20, and so what I was seeing was people partying.
Dude, like, even I'm sitting here looking at this T-shirt, why would I bother noticing the words? It's a guillotine. Like, I've seen many T-shirts with guillotines. This could have been a T-shirt referring to the French Revolution. Are we not allowed to have T-shirts with French Revolution memorabilia in it anymore? So yeah, this is where it's getting very, very silly indeed, and they're trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. This is just ridiculous now.
Flicking through, the man had a colourful hat on, like a rainbow hat. I remember seeing that and just carried on flicking through. I didn't even know this was a song lyric from XTC. Didn't read the T-shirt. That was a mistake, I accept that. but it's an inadvertent mistake. And so I think the amount that it's been reported, particularly by press that are owned by billionaires who often attack me.
Not just billionaires, the BBC also jumping on the bandwagon because they want to come across as impartial, but really you're just doing propaganda for the Reform Party and Nigel Farage, something that BBC is addicted to at this point. Again, I have to mention, no one has been on Question Time more than Nigel Farage in the 21st century. So yeah, the BBC is not fooling me in this regard.
I talk a lot.
Come on.
Well, no.
Come on. Any leader of a political party in this country who shares a post like that is going to have reports and stories and conversations about them. You know that.
Yeah, but again, he's already explained. He didn't see the T-shirt. He didn't do it deliberately. He wasn't the original photographer at this event. He wasn't the original poster. He just did a collab post. Come on, what are you doing right now? You are doing the job of his political enemies and wrapping it up in some type of impartial journalism. This is way too much.
So in May, I experienced lots of threats, including today, by the way. I experienced a death threat. But in May, a Nazi who was near a Reform banner threw a salute at me and was arrested. No one ever spoke about it. No one ever reported it. And it does feel this is a legitimate conversation to be having. That's why I've come here tonight, to have the conversation.
Yeah, even I'm kind of struggling with trying to connect the dots there. I mean, in your case, Zach, the person was arrested for throwing up a Nazi salute, rightfully so. Unless you're trying to illustrate to the press and media that Jews face a bigger threat from Nazis and fascists as opposed to supporters of Palestine, then say that maybe, but maybe not in this conversation. Yeah, like, again, you're doing way too much. You don't need to do all of this. Essentially, there's a collab post. You didn't look at all the photos. As soon as you realize you didn't agree with one of the photos, you immediately deleted it and condemned it. That's all you need to do. Now you're comparing apples and oranges for some reason, because Nigel Farage can then respond by saying, yeah, that person that did a Nazi salute was arrested, and then you just reposted this, so why aren't you being arrested? Again, you're bringing it around to the fact that you should be arrested for some reason or charged. Like, it's a silly argument there.
But you are also complaining about it being reported.
I'm complaining about the disproportionality of, I think Zia Youssef said, if I wasn't arrested by this time tomorrow, then it's open season on all MPs. I think that's clearly hyperbole.
Well, let me put this to you. Nigel Farage says he has had 597 death threats since February. Reform UK's Zia Youssef said the post was incitement to murder.
What is happening right now, Victoria? Like, I really don't understand. Are you trying to say that no one ever thought about harming Nigel Farage until seeing one photo in a bunch of photos that was reposted by Zach Polanski? Is that the argument you're making right now? Because that is too far-fetched. You can try and complain that this may increase the death threats that Nigel Farage receives, but as has already been established, Zach Polanski deleted and condemned the post as soon as he found out about it. So what the hell is going on? And what are you trying to say, actually? Are you trying to say that 2 million people in the UK saw that repost by Zach Polanski and thought to themselves, yeah, now you've planted the seed, I really want to put a hurt into Nigel Farage? No. So again, what is happening right now? Why are you doing the propaganda on behalf of the Reform Party?
So I think there's two things there, and two things can be true at the same time. It's totally unacceptable for Nigel Farage to receive a single death threat, so I condemn any incitement towards him or any violence towards him, no matter how much I disagree with his political views or anyone else. Everyone in the political sphere has the right to express their views.
I completely disagree. If your politics is to scapegoat and marginalize the most vulnerable, I don't think you should be free to express those views, because you are directly putting people in harm, in actual danger by your rhetoric. Just the fact that Nigel Farage used to stand by the coast in Dover watching boats come over, directly advocating for those boats to be stopped whichever way, and that could include even sinking. So yeah, don't tell me that you should be able to express whatever political views you want. Like, what, Zach? You can't say that, because you wouldn't be saying this if we were in 1930s Germany right now. You wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, I agree with Adolf Hitler's right to express his political views, because we know political views lead to political action.
At the same time, the idea that's incitement to murder, when it wasn't my photograph, it's not my T-shirt. I accepted a collaboration post and unaccepted it the moment I read the T-shirt.
Yeah, but you've also told me that you accept, as a leader of a political party, responsibility for what you share on social media. And you have also said this was a mistake.
Yes.
And that you didn't read it properly. Do you want to take this opportunity to apologise to Nigel Farage?
And this is where BBC's respectability politics absolutely jump the shark. Why does he need to apologise to Nigel Farage? What do these words even do in this situation, apart from add to the humiliation of Zach Polanski? Humiliation which he's already feeling in spades, mind you. Just so Nigel Farage can be like, oh look, we got him to apologise. He's sorry. Ha 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 ha. Look how small Zach Polanski is. There is no reason for Zach Polanski to apologise, because his actions after the fact indicate more than words could ever do that he is deeply, deeply sorry. There you go.
Well, if I'd done it deliberately, I'd be apologising. But because this was a mistake, I think the important thing is that I point out it's a mistake, that I also make sure that I condemn political violence. And also, crucially, I make a commitment to be better on my social media.
OK. Do you want to apologise then or not?
No. The reason for that is because Nigel Farage, when I posted this, or when the person posted it, it got less than 1,000 likes. Nigel Farage then took it, cropped it, so it made it look like I posted it, which I think was fundamentally dishonest. It's now had 3.2 million views. So actually, this whole conversation has been seen. Which
is absolutely amazing that Nigel Farage may be fueling the death threats to himself by reposting something that only got 1,000 likes. Can you imagine that? Let's just say at the most 2,000 people saw the post. Nigel Farage then saw this post, cropped it, reposted it, got a much bigger engagement, and people in his comments thinking, actually, that's quite right. I want to get you, Nigel. Absolutely ridiculous.
More because Nigel Farage, Lee Youssef, and I think Richard Tice posted it. So I'm accepting my responsibility in that I shouldn't have accepted that collaboration. I'm accepting that we all need to condemn political violence. But I also think the reporting to the police, the ramping up of the language to say this is incitement to murder me, feels like that's also putting me in a dangerous spot.
OK, there's a number of things to unpack there. First of all, you're saying you take responsibility for it and it was a mistake, and yet you won't apologise because you're blaming Nigel Farage for amplifying it.
He doesn't need to apologise because he's already taken action. His actions indicate that he's very, very sorry. What use would it be right now to get him to apologise when he's already given restitution? He's already provided justice. What more do you want him to do, Victoria? Yeah, I get it. You want him to apologise, but what will that do in the grand scheme of things when he's already put the work in?
I think we also need to talk about a double standard.
No, you keep taking the conversation on. If you're accepting it's a mistake...
What you just said was correct, but I was going to add to it.
OK.
Then Nigel Farage put out a video that talked about cold, pure rage, and then we saw a riot. Nigel Farage talked about knifing civil servants.
I am talking to you about what you have done. And if Nigel Farage was here, I'd be talking to him about what he had done.
And Nigel Farage will never go there because he no longer sees the utility of going on the BBC, because, as we can see, the BBC will do his job for him. So Nigel Farage never has to go in there and provide his point of view.
It's a mistake, but you won't apologise.
I think if I'd done it deliberately and this had been a misjudgment, I would absolutely apologise.
But when we make mistakes, whether it's intentional or not, we say sorry.
Yeah, we do say sorry, and that's a stupid British thing. So people are saying sorry, especially when they don't mean it, therefore making the word meaningless. I don't think he should say sorry, especially when he's already taken the steps to rectify the issue. So Victoria trying to beat a sorry out of him is just silly on everyone's behalf.
I mean, that's what we do.
You know as well as I do, the moment I do that, Nigel Farage would run all over social media saying he was correct about incitement to murder, and this would all ramp up again. And I think it's important that I draw a line and don't play his game, and actually say it is important that he's kept safe. It is important we condemn political violence, but I also recognise this is the political attack that it is.
Yes, but on behalf of you, your party said last night, once this image was brought to Zach's attention, he immediately unshared the post. He unequivocally does not support this type of dangerous message.
So what's the problem then? You've seen the statement from his party. He's acted. Why do you need him to say those words so badly? Please tell me like I'm a 5-year-old. Why do you need those words?
You're accepting it was dangerous,
Yes.
and yet you won't apologise.
I accept it's a dangerous message that I shared inadvertently, and I've corrected that immediately.
But you won't apologise for sharing that dangerous message.
Well, as I said, again, if Nigel Farage wants to apologise for all the times that he's put other people in danger, then I'll be happy to make an apology.
Right. So, okay.
Okay, and this is where we check out from this interaction. There's a bit more. I think there's about 20 minutes more, maybe, but I'm not going to sit through any of that because we would be here for 2 hours if I did. Whew, what can I say? What a laboured debate. All of this could have been a 2-minute segment.
Hi Zach, how you doing?
Hi Victoria. Yeah, I shared a post. As soon as I found out what that post contained, I deleted it and I condemn it, and my party put out a statement.
Oh, thanks Zach. I guess that's the end of the show.
And that should have been a long and short of it, but no. Instead, we got this long back and forth of apologise. I don't want to apologise, but you must apologise. Why should I apologise? You said it was a very dangerous post. Yes, I do agree it was a dangerous post. Then you should apologise. No, why should I apologise? I've already deleted it. Yeah, and this is from the same BBC that tried to dress up Jeremy Corbyn as some type of Russian asset, operating in the same country where a journalist could outright say we need to kill Jeremy Corbyn and all of his policies. But let's spin the block on the reason the t-shirt made such headlines. Essentially, this is one big distraction away from Nigel Farage accepting money from rich friends and not declaring it to Parliament. So instead of facing the consequences, he quit his job and triggered a by-election. Rather than the other political parties getting down in the mud with him, Nigel's only opponent is an alien from Sigma 9. Truly embarrassing. But coming back to the t-shirt, all of this is a meaningless debate. Buddy, the Metropolitan Police reviewed the matter and decided to take no further action against Zach Polanski, indicating they did not believe this repost met the threshold for a criminal offence. Do you know how hard it is for the Metropolitan Police to not act against people they clearly hate, like black people, gays, women, left-wingers, or any challenge to Israel or the establishment? They cooked Zach when he suggested their officers should not kick a suspect's brains out of his ears.
3 months ago, you retweeted criticism of the police's handling of the Golders Green attack. You apologised after that.
Also, there's no evidence Polanski designed or sold the t-shirt. The controversy concerns him reposting an image that included someone wearing it, not creating or endorsing the design himself. Finally, Farage is trying to equate an inadvertent repost with deliberate incitement to violence stretches the meaning of incitement beyond all rationality, particularly after the post was deleted and disowned. This guy Farage, not very smart, but that's what I think. What do you think? Tell me down below. I would love to read it. If you stayed with me up to this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoy audiobooks, I voice one on spotting red flags early in relationships. Link in the description below. And remember, once we understand politics, we will make better choices. Don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao.
Someone who really understands, take a step in my direction. Take a step in my direction.